So you're about to level your first character in Crowfall. And when you do that, you want to make sure you're doing it efficiently and fast. You also want to make sure you're getting the most out of the leveling experience as you possibly can. Well, if those things sound like something you'd like to do, stick around in this video. I'm going to give you some tips and tricks and kind of go over exactly how I'm going to level my first character. All right, let's get started. So I'm here on the PTS, and there is a new player experience. If you don't know what that is, that's completely fine. It's essentially their questing from level 1 to 30, and it's going to let you into basically how the game works. The first thing I will say is make sure you read the quests. I know I am someone that is horrible about reading the quests, but it's going to go over a lot of things in the game. It's going to go over everything from crafting. Almost immediately, you're going to be crafting a hammer. It's going to make you chop down wood. It's going to make you craft your gear. It's going to do a lot of really good things. So you want to make sure you read the quests. Now, if you look at the top right-hand corner of my screen, you will see something like says the Earth Temple. Below it's going to have a couple banners. And then right below that is actually going to be the quest log. There's nowhere to be found. Talk to Shakan, Bloodwife. So that is the quest. If you want to see exactly where it is, I think is it J? No, J's crafting. I don't know exactly the keybind. I can't remember what it is, but you can go over here to the quest log, and this is going to be the quest log for all your quests. Now, if you click on it, it's going to go over through your exact dialogue that you had basically when you read it, and it's going to tell you what to do. So you can find that there. You're just going to go through leveling via quests, but we're going to give you a couple things to do. Now, as you're leveling, you're going to come across these little plants. So we got some here, got some here. I am going to pick up every single one of these, especially if you're an assassin. These mushrooms are going to be a must, and those mushrooms are very important for a lot of things as well. But I want to pick up all these because everything you get here, whether it's going to be either good for you or it's going to be good for your guild. So make sure you pick up all of these that you possibly can. And that's going to be something you're just going to be able to do as you're leveling through the game. Now, I'm on a quest here. It's pretty self-explanatory, but as we go, I'm going to give you some tips and tricks. Now, it's going to have you chop down some trees and chop down some stone. That's fine. What you can do if you really want, you don't necessarily have to, but you can go over here and you can even chop, or you can kill some more of these elks. And one of the quests is going to have you do this, but you can even, if you want to make some more gear, you can go ahead and skin them. Now, one of the quests are going to have you make one set of gear, and it's going to take some wood, some stone, and some leather. Now, you're going to get plenty of gear as you go, but if you're feeling a little frisky and you want to get into a full set of gear, you can do that. So let's pick up this, which we actually don't need it. We actually just need wood, I believe. So we're going to chop down the tree. We're going to need one more piece of wood, so we're going to chop down one more tree. And we're just going to go ahead and get our chest piece on. And this is all basic stuff. This is all basic wood that you don't have to worry about. But let's go over here, and we're going to craft a piece of gear. Now, you don't necessarily have to do this, but it is nice to get that chest piece on because it does give you a little bit of armor. So we're going to go down here to leatherworking. No, we don't want leatherworking. Well, yeah, intermediate armor. Let's do intermediate chest piece here. We don't have any leather sheets. We can make leather sheets. Just make basic armor here. Basic tunic. So we'll just do that. There's that dust, which you get from getting the plants, or you get it from, you know, doing your skidding and stuff like that. And stone. So we just made our piece of gear, and now we can slot it. And if you want to, you can slot all these, but you're going to find enough pieces. Now, game is going to give you a piece of gear here at level 5. It's going to give it to you before you hit level 5, unless you're doing a lot of like killing mobs and stuff like that. So make sure when you hit level 5, you go ahead and put that armor on. All right, that's going to be it for this little segment, and I will let you know as we go. So right after you finish basically where we were just at, you're going to go over to this. It's going to be their first real camp of mobs. You're going to go to one spot that's going to have a couple mobs here and there before this, but it's going to be your first actual camp of mobs. Now, these guys are pretty easy to handle, but really make sure you are handling what your class can actually handle. Some classes can basically just do like single target, where I'm on a a champion, which does just crazy AoE damage. But this is actually a good spot to really start getting some pieces of gear. As you can see here, I crafted that piece of armor, but I've got something better in here. And now we're essentially just, we are now at a full set of armor, basically from this camp, other than a pair of boots. And all I did was I walked down through these mobs and I got them. Now, the one thing to understand when killing these mobs are the best things you want to kill here are these elites right here. These will always drop you better loot than the other ones. And as you can see, I'm just gonna hit my ultimate here, and I'm basically gonna kill them all. This is why the champion is just busted. Champion's just so good. I mean, every class is good, but some classes excel at like PvE more than others. And you don't get a whole lot from these camps at first, so I wouldn't spend too much time here, but I would go through, and it's always good to kill a couple, get a little bit of gold. I don't farm these really for gold. It's just nice to kind of get a set of gear really quick. That way you can actually have some things going for you. We have these, which are sacrifice items, which we will go through here very shortly. What to sacrifice, when to sacrifice it, and all that stuff. But just remember to, when you get those camps, you can get a couple pieces of gear if you like, but I wouldn't stay there too long. And oh, we've actually bypassed where we're supposed to go because I'm ahead of myself here. We're gonna go here in a second, but I will see you shortly. All right, I'm here just right after I ended the last little clip. And if you don't pay attention to this person, he basically, what he says is you just got to recall. Now, when you recall, it does put it on a nice little cooldown. But that's not all I wanted to talk about in this little clip. The one thing I do want to talk about is your talent points. Now, make sure you get your talent points completely adjusted, you know, before you get going. Like, make sure you know where your points are going to be. If you don't have their basically their monthly sub, I forget what they call it, their VIP, then you will have to pay a lot of gold to respec your character, which is fine. You can also re-level, but who really wants to re-level their character multiple times? Now, if you have VIP, then I don't necessarily worry about it. Essentially, early game, I like to take, if there's a good skill that I can take, which this one, and I'm talking for PvE, like that one's not very good. This one's okay. This one's okay. So with them just being okay, what I like to do is I like to take these stat bundles. Almost every character will take these 2 stat bundles. Now there's 4 stat bundles for each character, and they are all extremely powerful. Most classes and most promotions will take all 4, but some of them do not. So don't just take my word for it. Make sure you look up a build or do some form of, you know, you can go through. Now at the end of this video, I will go through kind of my complete stat progression when it comes to this character, and I will talk a little bit more about it. But as you can see, I take these 2, and then there's always skip 1 here. These are typically always skills, and then you will get 2 more stat bundles here and here. Stats in this game are pretty insane. I always take this one first. This one, on most damage classes, has this basic attack damage on it. I always take that. This one's typically more specialized, which this one's really good, but this one's a lot better once you get more gear and get more points and stuff like that. Where this one gives me something with power efficiency 24% and basic attack damage 7.5%, which is just really great on your character, absolutely, no matter when. I take one thing when it comes to your skills. I do not take your disciplines here, your minor discipline, if you take it. I do not take it until almost the very end because I don't even have any disciplines right now slotted. I can get a minor right here, but I don't even have a minor. I haven't got access to a minor yet. So why would I go ahead and put a minor in here when I can't even get it? So I get these pretty much last. You can obviously do with it as you please. You can get it, you cannot get it. It's up to you. But I prefer, especially when you first start out, you don't get this skill or this slot right here until later. Even if you get it, a lot of classes don't. Okay, remember here we're going to be alt-ping, which is your recall, and it'll get back really quick. I'll see you in a minute. So we're back here. We've alt-p'd, we've talked to the Earth Sentinel, and now they want us to sacrifice some coins. Now, this is going to be one of your main ways of leveling up. You'll be able to level up some characters or level your characters from 31 to 32, etc. Without even actually doing any grinding or anything like that, because you'll have what they call sacrifice items. Now, at a base value, the sacrifice items, they are the same quality as your gear. So you'll have like common or gray, then you'll have white, then you'll have your, what is it, your blue, You'll have your green, your purple, which it's green, then blue, then purple, and then legendary. Now, as you level up, certain items will get less effective and certain items will get more, or they'll actually, you won't be able to use them at all. So if you have these white or gray stack items, which gray items, they don't really give a whole lot, I would sacrifice them as soon as you can on your low level characters. Okay, so we have 8 here. Now, what qualifies as a sack item? So if you look at it, most of them will say, like you see there, underneath this elk point, sacrifice item. Now you can sacrifice things like this. So you see, for instance, my chest piece I'm wearing currently is better. On these white pieces of gear or the gray pieces of gear, they're essentially basically just the armor. The health regen that's basically the only stat they will have, and it's not very good no matter what. So you don't worry about that. So it's going to sell me to sacrifice 1 coin, but what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to sacrifice all these. I'm going to sacrifice this. Now, I am not I don't need these swords, and these will only be good for, like, if you're level 1. They have a very low sacrifice value, but we're going to sacrifice them anyway. Make sure they're not anything you need. This is the base thing you get, so it's not going to allow you. I don't think it's going to let me sacrifice that. It does. Was it like 1 experience, 10 experience? So it'll let me sacrifice these things. I'm not going to sacrifice any of this stuff because this is all crafting stuff. This is going to give you, some food and cooking and gear and stuff like that. So we don't want to do that. We're just going to sacrifice these. Now, one thing to note is if you get your experience bar and it goes over here, you do not get any carryover. So if I were to put some other things in there, I can do that. Now, you can't sacrifice gold at low levels, which at very low levels, it is 1 for 1, but I do not. Don't waste your gold. You'll be able to level up super quickly anyway. So we're gonna sacrifice that, sacrifice all that. We're almost level 8, and now we're gonna go talk to Sentinel again. All right, now we're just going to the Stonebore Ruins, and I'll cut out here, and we'll be back in a second. So I am down here. It's been a little bit since I've seen you guys, and I'm level 13. Now we're gonna go through a bunch of different things. You're gonna go a couple more camps. You're even gonna go through to the next zone. Eventually, you're gonna make your way down here to the Stone Pigs. Now I'm kind of stopping here for just a couple reasons. One, I wanted to let you guys know about how your stat points work. Now it doesn't matter to me because I have the VIP, but I've actually made a mistake here, and when I take this node right here, which I'm probably going to take on my next one, I think it's the next time I level. If you look, I have 180 strength. This is going to give me 40, and the cap is 200 at this basic vessel. So when I go there, I'm actually going to be over capped. So you want to make sure that when you're putting your points into these, that you know exactly what you're putting into. Now, I will be having builds for this, so you guys can actually follow them along. But unfortunately, I won't be able to have every build. So you're going to actually have to pre-plan your builds if you don't have VIP, because it is going to be like something like, I think, 75,000 gold to respec. What most people end up doing is I just make new characters. Once you get a character, if let's say you mess up, it's not a big deal. What I would do is, and if you don't want to do the new player experience again, which is just their leveling process, what I would do is actually just use the character you have to farm sacrifice items, which I've sacrificed almost all of mine other than this elven cloth, and I would do that. Now that you're down here, one thing I would make sure you do is I would go ahead and sacrifice all of your white and gray items. Boom, sacrifice that. I've sacrificed everything I have. Now I am almost level 14, and we're just going to tame some pigs, and let's see, it's going to have me tame here, complete this quest. You guys don't know what these are. These are like your little pack pigs. Now, I'm not going to go through that. Make sure you read all your quests. It's actually pretty important in this game. I'm going to grab just a couple more here, just in case. I can grab 3. Yeah, you should be able to grab 3. And I'm going to go there. Now, these little shrines, you can only have a certain amount of them. You get the Power of Kronos really early, which is a really good one. But let's see. I don't remember if this one will actually take off of my buff here. So I think this is a different goddess. Let's check. Yep, so we're good. So you can get this one as well. So now I have Maeve, which is hold on. Oh, Mave is your electric damage and your electric resistance. So, and increase your healing bonus. So it's pretty good on some classes, not great on mine, but we're gonna get it because it's free. Now I'm gonna take these pigs all the way up to where they've got to go, as you see that little marker there, and I'll see you here in a little bit. Now I am basically just right after where I talked to you. I went in and turned in my pigs. Now I'm at the next little quest here, and one thing is, and I didn't record this part, but when you go to put in your granite boulders, you can actually do one of two things. You can only have to put one in there, so make sure you split the stack. You can split the stack by hitting shift right click, and you'll be able to split the stack however you want. We can do that, and you can either sell these for gold, or honestly what I like to do is I will just put them into the sacrifice with what other sacrifice items I have while I'm leveling, and boom, get myself some extra XP. I just thought I would touch on that just because I was here and I was getting ready to sacrifice, and right before I did, I was like, wait a minute, let me go ahead and talk about that. Because remember, look at your quest. It's a lot of times it's going to say, hey, do this. It's only going to cost you one. You can put all of them in there, but don't do that. That's either, you know, free 300 gold, or that is a little bit of sacrifice items. So, all right, so I'll see you here in a second. I just want to make a quick little tidbit here to make sure you're eating this food. This food they're going to give you while like level 2, and essentially what it's going to do is allow you to run faster. It gives you either Trailblazing or Trail Master depending on which one you have, and what it is, when you're out of combat for so long, it'll basically increase your movement speed of like your walking. So it's really good when you're trying to go from quest to quest, so make sure you are eating this to keep up on your speed. All right, now I am level 20. And we're at a kind of a very important part. It's going to go have you buy a exploration discipline from the vendor. Just pick something you think you might want to do. It's not a big deal. You can take these out whatsoever. If I took it out, you know, do that, it would destroy it. Actually, can I take it out now? Yeah, see, now you can just take them out. So don't worry about it. Just pick which one you might want. It's only 325 gold. It's pretty cheap, but we're going to go over crafting. So I just crafted a basic pick, and now it wants me to craft an intermediate pick. Now I've done this many of times, but as you can see here, it just wants me to put the basic pick in here. I'm going to put some dust, some ore, and assemble it. Now we have the risk system. Now this isn't a crafting video, so I'm not going to go over this too much, but this will basically, you can pick whether you want durability. We can only put 1 point in there, or we want instead mining. Whatever, we're just gonna go mining because why not? I bumped it up by 1.85%. If you want to re-roll these, I wouldn't worry about this until you get into higher tier crafting. Don't polish it, don't re-roll it. This isn't worth it, especially for these intermediate tools. But just kind of craft it, take it, and there you go. Now you have a better version of your pick. Now you can do this with all the weapons, or the harvesting tools here. You can go ahead and put the ore, the dust, is it all ore? I can't remember. Yep, all ore, dust, and a basic harvest pick. Now this ore does have to be, it does have to be uncommon, or it has to be at least common. It can't be the basic. It's like this is a slate, which is the upgraded version of cobblestone. Now there's a bunch of different things other than just slate. Like here we have copper. I don't have any of the basic resource on here, but these are the upgraded, not the basic. I think it's just called like slagstone or something. So yeah, see, here we go. We have limestone. So you do need the upgraded ore. You can't just use regular ore. I am pretty sure, at least you didn't used to be able to, quality ingredient used in the slot will impact the overall assembly. So yeah, so just want to make sure you let you know this, because this is a very important thing. Even if you're not going to be a crafter, you are going to have to craft a little bit, especially in the very early parts of the game when you're just running around questing. You want to upgrade your weapon and stuff like that, which I haven't. This is literally the base weapon that they gave me at the very beginning. I could craft a weapon if I really wanted to, but we're not going to craft it right now. All right, we are going to talk to you here shortly. All right, so I'm level 30. I did get to 29.5, and I had a small bug right here. This quest right here kind of was bugging out a little bit just for the sun faction. That's going to be fixed by launch, so don't worry about that. But I got to 29.5 when I got there, and it took me a couple hours. I did take a break in the middle of it. I was kind of watching some things on like YouTube, and I was just kind of doing some things around the house. I ate some food, but it's only going to take a couple hours. Now, some people you might still want to grind. I actually lost gold because I died in that little glitch. I think I had another like 6,000 gold. I think I took half my gold. So I had plenty there. And I ended up with all this stuff. I deleted a few things from my inventory too. You see your gear. I actually got a full set of gear. Now, I didn't find this or this. This was both gear that I got via quests. This you'll end up making a axe here. But I found all this armor. Or they got it for a quest. I don't know. But I found all this. It gives you a ring. It gives you a horse mount. It gives you an upgraded, well, you make this, but gives you an upgraded tool, gives you some basic stuff. And I still have a bunch of stack items. So I still have a bunch of stack items here. I do have a couple disciplines. So I just want to mention here, I'm at the faction place. This is where you can change your faction. It's going to give you a faction when you start. If you're in a guild like I am, you will not be able to change your faction. You'll be locked to whatever guild faction you are, which is the reason why I couldn't complete the quest. Because my guild is on Sun, and I can't actually complete the quest, and I can't change my guild. I guess I could technically leave the guild, but I don't want to do that, of course. So you have these three here. You can change them. I think the cooldown's like an hour. I don't know if it's changed or not. But just don't worry. If you do pick the wrong faction, there will be a cooldown. Probably max like a day, but it's not a big deal. The one thing I will say is once you go into these zones, any of these 4 zones, you will lose your gold when you die. Either part of it or all of it. I think all of it in Sky Point and part of it in these 3. I'm not 100% sure on that. I'm 90% positive. I know on live I lost all of my gold in Sky Point. I'm pretty sure on test you do too, and you lose half of it in these ones right here. So don't worry. Just make sure you just don't bring your gold out there, and then you can go around and do everything. If you're killing mobs, then that's unfortunate. But yeah, just keep that in mind. You go here if you want to change your faction, and then you come over here if you want to respec this little guy right here. If you have VIP, it is free. If you do not have VIP, you're not going to have enough gold for this right now, but you can buy one of these for 75,000, and it will give you the ability to respec. So now that I'm 30, I will put out a video of what to do once you hit level 30. But basically right now you can go farm the camps in Sky Point. Is probably the best place to go currently. Like I said, I'll put a more in-depth guide when it comes to, once you reach level 30 about what to do. Now, last thing is I'm going to go over here and we're going to talk just a tad about your disciplines. And they do talk about this in the quest, but I just want to touch on it a little bit. It's this way. That's right over here. I haven't actually bought any yet. Now, I will put out a video going over this in depth. There is a video or 2 out there already, but we're going to put one out there as well. Kind of get my take on it. And so right here, you can buy your disciplines. Now, when you go up to them originally, you're going to see I don't have many options, right? It's like, oh, wow, Parfax. Really? You only have this many options? That's not technically true. So you do have these domains. I'm not going to go over them right now. Like I said, it'll be in the video, but these domains are something you use to decide which of the disciplines you want. Now, I'm going to be a barbarian, so I will get to pick between war, battle, and wind. And if you have any questions about disciplines, this little button right here called Crowpedia, you can click it and it will give you all of the domains and everything like that. And if you want to find it, you can just go over here. I like to go to hold on, sorry. I go to talents and then Crowpedia, sorry. And yeah, I've spent so many hours looking at this. If you like hover over it, it'll tell you what it is. Now, this is the legendary version. This is what you will max out to be. You will start at a white version, which won't have all of these. It won't have any of the base stats. You see the attack power in critical strike. It will not have any of those. So just keep that in mind when you do it. You can see here it goes by race, class, promotion, and domain. So that's it. Now, on the disciplines, now remember, you only get 15 points to spend. So make sure you plan out your class wisely. I will have builds out. I won't be able to put a build out on everything because there are, you know, so many different builds you could do. Like, I mean, even just like a barbarian, you could do a couple different barbarian builds. You could do a couple different alpha warrior builds, a couple different pit fighter builds. You can do a bunch of different things. So I will be putting out some builds, but I won't be able to put out all of them. But so just keep in mind, you only have 15 points to spend. So really pick them wisely. Like I said, these are always really good. These nodes that give you stats, they're always very good. You won't need all the skills. Just kind of hover over them and see what sounds good. If you have any questions, make sure you ask somebody. There are going to be builds out there. Maybe look up a build. Now, remember, some builds are going to be for big group play. Some builds are going to be for small group play, all that kind of thing. So just keep that in mind. But even if you mess up, you can always make a character. It only makes a couple hours. You could make 3-4 characters in a day if you really wanted to, and probably 3 characters in a day. So don't get discouraged if you mess up. It's fine. You can either stay on that character, grind up, and get more sack mats to level up a character without having to do the quest, or get a bunch of rewards and do the quest itself all over again. It was a lot of fun. It is a lot better, and it's very intuitive. It gets you all the way to 30, and it's actually pretty good. So that's what I will be doing at launch. I will be doing the questing because it gives you so much stuff. Remember to pick up all of your especially your food and stuff on the ground, especially your mushrooms. Those assassins are really going to want the mushrooms come live. They're going to go like hotcakes. You'll be able to sell them. You can even make the poisons and sell them. Maybe I'll put a video out about that because it's really quick and easy. We'll do like some quick tips and maybe what you can do to sell stuff early and what kind of stuff sells early and stuff like that. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Remember, you can follow me on Twitch at twitch.tv/Parfaxgaming. I stream Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern time. When this goes live, you bet I will be on it and I will be playing a bunch. I think they're just going to make the God's Reach come up first, so we're not going to get any campaigns right off the bat, but it's going to be a lot of fun. I cannot wait. Let me know in the comment section down below if you're excited for Crowfall. Let me know if this helped you at all, and let me know if you want to see any type of videos. All right, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.